Hi, I'm Deanna Garola, and I am the internship coordinator here at SMC. And I am going to go over the process for employers so that they're aware of what our interns are going through for our internship program application process. So let me share my screen. Okay. So how do I hire an SMC student as an employer? So you're going to log into the www.smc.edu/hire SMC and select create an account. And you're going to enter your registration information and create an access ID. Please note account request submissions are reviewed by our staff within 48 to 72 hours of submission. If your account submission is approved, you will receive an email notification confirming your access ID and a link instructing you to create a password. Once your password has been created, you can log in to post the job or internship opportunities. Employers that register for an account must have the following things: a properly zoned local business address where supervised work will be conducted, a valid office phone number and web address, all required equipment for the students to use, offer an hourly rate minimum wage or above for non-internship opportunities, a valid business license and carry liability insurance. No staffing agencies are accepted as SMC Career Services Center staff provides job placement assistance. So how to post an opportunity for students. Once you log into your account, you will have the following options. Registration, you can update your registration information and password here. Job board, you may post, edit, repost, etc. Hiring information, as we provide this posting service free of charge, we ask that in exchange, you please report any hires you make here. You can to post an opportunity, please select the job board area and then select post a new job. After you fill out all of the required fields at the bottom of the form, select Save Job Posting. And please note that once again, all postings are reviewed by our staff within 48 to 72 hours of submission. Posting tips. We ask that you do not select student employment as that category is reserved for Santa Monica College Department posting. We recommend including salary information. And finally, please note that you may adjust the applicant's submission deadline to either extend or shorten the timeframe in which students may apply. Do students have to take an internship class? If students are international or their internship is unpaid, they must be enrolled in an internship course. If students are domestic and the internship is paid, class credit is optional. It's important to know the SMC semester dates for our internship program opening and closing as far as the enrollment. So you can check the dates at the link there. If a student chooses to receive class credit, whether the internship is paid or not, the internship hours must take place during the academic semester. Often we get students questioning whether they can count the hours that maybe they did this summer in their fall internship course, or maybe they're going through the application process with me and they haven't received their ad code, but they want to start their internship. Those hours cannot be counted as part of the internship program until they officially are enrolled and have their ad code and they have access to their Canvas shell. Students' internship hours will not count until the first day of the semester, like I mentioned. All coursework and work hours must be completed by the conclusion of their internship course. So this means that, for example, in fall, we end our internship program in December. If a student, maybe they missed some hours and they'd like to carry it into January, we do not allow that. So the hours for the internship class that they have selected to enroll in have to occur between the time they enroll and between the time we put the date as far as ending that their hours need to be completed. It's usually in December. So if you wish to extend the internship, however, students must re-enroll in a course for the following semester and begin the new internship assignment on the first day of the semester. International F1 students must receive approval from International Center prior to accepting internships. That is the first step for F1 students. They must see their counselor, their immigration specialist, and get their eligibility letter before they do anything else. So our internship classes that students can choose from are the following, and they're available by the amount of hours that the intern or student decides to work. So counseling 90A is 1 unit, and on from there, we have 90B, 90C, 90D, up to 4 units. And you can see across the chart here what hours are required for the student to work based on if the internship is paid or unpaid. Please note that international students cannot exceed 20 hours a week. Employer responsibilities if students enroll in intern class. Semester dates and hours ensure students are offered the hours agreed upon to satisfy their course requirement. If students do not meet their hour requirement for the class they enrolled in, they will not pass the class. There are no exceptions. Again, like I mentioned before, we're not able to extend the student into the next semester. They need to be able to finish those hours. Again, international students cannot exceed 20 hours a week. Learning objectives, review and approve the students' 3 learning objectives. We're going to go over some samples of those in a moment. Intern evaluation form. An intern evaluation form will be emailed to supervisors from internship course instructors at the end of the semester. Supervisors will be asked to rate intern performance based on completion of learning objectives, and failure to return the evaluation form by the end of the semester will result in the intern receiving a no pass grade. We don't want that to happen. So here are some samples of learning objectives. I usually, the students that are applying for the internship program, they do have access to a very similar PowerPoint than this, and we do have these examples for them. So they should be aware of the format and what we're looking for as far as the learning objectives being very specific and how it will be learned being very specific as well and explanatory, and also including the statement by the end of the internship, the intern will have. What will they have accomplished by the end of that internship? We want things to not be so vague, because stuff like I'll learn how to, I have a student who's in the film internship currently, and he put, I'll learn how to make a movie. Well, you could be learning how to make a movie for all of your career in the film industry. So I asked the student make it a little bit more specific to that internship he's in. And here are some more examples. So student eligibility. Not all students are eligible to enroll in the internship course. So for domestic students, students must have completed 6 or more units in the previous semester with a GPA of 2.0 or higher. That means when we say the previous semester, we do not count summer and winter. So for a student to be eligible for fall, they need to have completed the 6 units and have that GPA for the previous spring. Okay, so then it just like for spring, eligibility, they need to have completed 6 units and have a 2.0 or higher in the fall semester, the previous fall. International students must have met with the SMC immigration specialist, must have completed at least 2 consecutive academic semesters in full-time status, must have maintained a GPA of at least 2.0 or higher, must be in good immigration status, must be eligible for an internship as part of their academic program, CPT, or must have completed an Associate of Arts or Associate of Science degree at SMC and are eligible to apply or have applied for optional practical training or OPT. Once you make an offer to a student, what happens? The student applies to enroll in the internship class, and the student must provide employer contact info and learning objectives. The instructor, which is me at this time, the instructor verifies student eligibility and emails the employer a learning contract with the learning objectives submitted by the student, and the email will be sent to you from the email right there. The employer signs the learning contract. Once the paperwork is verified, the instructor gives an ad code, and the instructor being me, I give the ad code to the student so they may enroll in the class and begin their internship. The instructor emails the intern evaluation form in the last 2 to 3 weeks of the semester, and the email again will come from that email there. The employer must complete the intern evaluation form prior to the end of the semester for the student to pass their class. And this process does take, it could take from 3 to 5 business days. We usually tell students, just because, depending on the applicant load and my time allotted for the internship program, and, getting the student to submit the correct learning objectives can take a lot of time, and then getting that form to the employer and back, it all takes days sometimes. So we do give that expectation to students. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us at the Career Services Center, and our phone number and our email is there, as well as our webpage to the internship program website. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you to get these students into internships.